Lately, people have been focusing more on making it in life. Their drive for success gave way to innovations that, just half a decade ago, were deemed impossible to achieve. And now, they are centering their efforts on bigger and bigger things. But they often forget the simple fact that there is success in the littlest of things too. Welcome to Bare Luxury, where we show you all the possible ways for you to take in order to become successful and reach the top. Today, we'll be focusing on low-cost businesses to start this 2023. These businesses are especially successful in third-world countries and emerging markets. But with the right strategy, these could be started anywhere. Land transportation services. First one on our list are land transportation services. If you read history books, you'd notice that the majority of the rise and fall of civilizations has, to some degree, been influenced by roads and the movement of goods. And it still holds true today. Humanity has adapted to a fast life where everything is constantly moving, and moving fast. Be it goods or people, transportation played a major role in humanity's development. And with massive advances in modern technology, it too evolved into much more sophisticated programs. There are now ride-sharing applications like Uber and Grab, where a passenger could plan or book a ride with a single click from his or her phone. But even with these advances, the route of transportation is getting someone to their desired destination. And that basic definition makes it possible for startups to emerge, especially in developing countries. The beauty of this kind of business is the low initial capital needed to start operating, and its scalability. You could start renting one vehicle. Could be a bicycle, a motorcycle, a pedicab, or a second-hand car. Once things are going right for you, you could add another unit and another until you built a fleet of vehicles for hire. So it doesn't really matter what part of the world you're from. Land transportation services will always be a good business to start. Distribution businesses. Another major part of transportation is the transportation of goods. The human population has exploded in the past century, and the amount of goods being moved daily is simply astronomical. And this is more true in developing countries where population density is rising faster. Goods like personal case, fresh fruits and vegetables, other food products, and basic needs like clothes and household products are some of the most moved items in any type of community. Distribution and logistics of these products are highly profitable, even if operated on a smaller scale. You could start distributing basic goods to hard-to-reach areas where people have to walk for miles to have access to their basic needs. With proper planning, scheduling, and dissemination of information to these areas, one could scale up their business faster. Recycling business. Recycling businesses are another sub-branch of transportation services, one where you could even start together with your distribution business. While you're delivering goods to different kinds of communities, why not take their recyclables as well? You go to a place bringing goods to be traded for money, and you come out with some more goods that could be flipped for cash as well. That's as efficient as you could get. And if you're more of a visionary, then you could even scale up recycling into different kinds of businesses like manufacturing and construction. Ingenious visionaries around the globe have managed to turn waste materials to fuel, clothes, construction materials, and even asphalt roads, all of which costs a fraction to manufacture than any of their traditional counterparts. And since humanity produces millions of tons of trash every day, it's just an industry where you could never run out of raw materials. The latter type of recycling business requires more capital, however, but the returns are quite good, so it's something that anyone looking to make it big in the recycling business should consider. Handicrafts. Another low-cost business you could start are handicrafts. This is more of a specialized niche for creative people who are driven by their passion just as much as they are driven to attain success in life. Though niched, there is practically unlimited amounts of crafts you could get into, and you can even integrate your recycling business into this one as well. You could create bags out of recycled juice packs, old denims, and even weave more traditional-looking bags out of recycled plastic bottles. Old copper wires could be turned to bracelets and even artworks you could sell as displays. For creatives, there is no limit to the raw material they could use them for. If you could imagine it, you could make it. So make it. Put your passion into action, and you'll be surprised by how far it could get you. Did you know that you could turn almost anything you love into a business? There are unlimited ways to make it in life, so why not use one that's closest to your heart? It'll be a ton more easier than just doing things for money. Share down the comment section the things you love doing and ideas you have to make them profitable. Who knows? Maybe you'd be able to connect to like-minded individuals as well. Mobile phone repair. No matter if you're living in a first world country or a developing one, mobile phones and gadgets have become a part of people's daily lives. It's even the first thing most people check after waking up. and it's probably the last one they check before going to bed as well. With today's economy, however, people are learning not to be swayed by trends and annual releases of their favorite brands. People are now prioritizing longevity over specs, and that includes having old phones, and even new and damaged ones, repaired. There is a massive market for mobile gadget repairs. Sure, there are a lot of repair shops out there, but you could never lose by learning the skills needed to start in this business. All you need to really consider when starting is a good location where there are a few repair shops and a good number of people. You could even start by repairing gadgets of friends and family members for a lower price just to kick things off. All you need is an effective strategy paired with discipline. Cash crop farming. Cash crops are crops that are high in demand like coffee and cocoa. These are crops that are sought after by local businesses, especially in developing countries where the number of small to mid-sized businesses are growing exponentially, ranging from coffee and pastry shops to only eateries. And with the rise of aero gardens and hydroponic technologies, cash crops have never been more accessible than today. For smaller crops, you can even grow them in spaces as small as 10 square meters. But for larger ones like coffee and cocoa, you could consider other financial sources to buy land and grow them for long-term gains. Cleaning service. Let's face it, society grew too big, too fast. People have been speeding past each other lately, being engulfed by the fast life society has developed into. And because of these, some of the basic personal functions of people are often overlooked. You can capitalize on this by going down and dirty with tasks that are too time-consuming for the majority of the populace. You could start by cleaning houses, clearing leaves, pulling out weeds, and gardening. If you have saved enough, you can then buy more serious equipment that could up your game and service price multiple times, like mowing, hedge trimming, and pressure washing services. These are especially profitable in developing countries where people have to hustle more, leaving their basic chores unaccomplished. Now we're finally at the immortal businesses that will always be in demand, no matter where you are in the world, but are more profitable in developing countries. Let's start with the most basic of needs: water delivery. Now, what we mean by water delivery is not the simple task of delivering water. It is providing safe drinking water to your community. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of rural areas in developing countries where even the basic drinking water is a scarcity. And with the threat of climate change, water demand has significantly risen in the past decade. You could start by identifying a community or area that is in need of water and start a small water refining station. Products of your station could then be delivered to households around it and even those that are a bit further. As water will always be in demand, having a water delivery system is like asking people for a basic needs subscription in life. Once you start it, maintaining and scaling it up will be your only problem. Barbershop. Unless it's part of their culture, people would always opt to cut their ever-growing hairs, especially with global temperatures rising every year. Having long and untidy hair could only add stress to your everyday hustle and bustle. Besides, a good haircut and having a presentable look could literally get you places. Put two presenters in a crowd who both have the same topic to discuss with the exact same materials, and people would naturally gravitate their attention to the tidier looking one rather than the one who has untidy and untrimmed hair. That's just how humans are. So, setting up a barbershop, especially in a developing country where people always dress and look to impress, is a sound plan. You will never run out of customers if you have great services and facilities. Street food stalls. Lastly, food. Food is where humans get their energy from, so it is a perpetual need that has to be satisfied. And though the evolution of food through the decade, people have had more and more exposure to easy and scrumptious food. And there is no other place to have these better and faster than from street food stalls. You could start small and prepare a limited number of stocks each day and slowly grow it based on market demand. One thing's for sure, however, it is one of the most scalable businesses out there where people have become millionaires in a very short span of time. That's all for today. If this video has inspired you to start your own business, leave a like and follow our channel, Bear Luxury, so you won't miss out on even more awesome videos that we have in store for you.